Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Gateway podcast, coming to you from Clarksville, Tennessee, also known as the Gateway to the New South. We are proudly progressive members of the Montgomery County Democratic Party. We're here to bring hope to our community and connect progressive folk here in Montgomery County with the larger Democratic movement. My name is Rebecca Jensen. I'm the Communications Chair as well as the Interim Chair for Montgomery County Democratic Party. I'm here with Allie Phillips. Hi. As well as Chaz Opperman, our former chair. Hello again.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Allie. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, we're glad to have you here today. And at the time that this podcast airs, the topic of conversation is going to be you being chair rather than not being chair. So can you tell us a little bit about your decision to step down as chair?
Yeah. So the decision wasn't an easy one. I know I spoke with you about it a couple months ago when it first was a thought. But it's been something that I've been dealing with for quite a while. Ultimately, the big decision is personal, a lot of personal things. Between losing a pregnancy 2 years ago and running a really grueling campaign last year, it took a big effect on my mental health, my marriage, my family. And I haven't had the opportunity to work on fixing what was broken. And staying in the chair position didn't seem right for me because I couldn't take lead of my own life. I couldn't feel like I was going to be able to lead a party in the right direction because I myself was going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
On top of that, being in Clarksville, it's not Clarksville itself, it's just the trauma laced around Clarksville because of what happened.
It's memories.
It's memories. Being in that house every day is where, we lost Miley. That's where I filmed and did 1,000,001 interviews. It's just like a constant reminder every time I walk through that front door of what I lost between Miley and the election. And so it's just not helping me mentally.
No.
So in order to hopefully heal, don't know if it's going to be the right choice or not, but in order to hopefully heal myself, my marriage, and my family, we're looking at moving out of Clarksville, still staying in Middle Tennessee, but getting out of Clarksville in general. And therefore, I can also not serve in a county that I no longer live in.
Yeah.
But really the big thing was my mental health has hit such an all-time low. I don't feel like I can lead people right now.
Yeah.
And I think that takes a lot of strength to admit that.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I tried to get through it. I tried to no, I can get through this. I did it before, I can do it again, but I'm just continuously pushing myself down.
No, I think it's really brave to admit that you took on too much and it wasn't right for that time when you had, so much going on. Like you, when you took the chair position, you were actually pregnant at that time with Archie.
Yes.
And then, the timeline was that you had him like a month into being chair.
Yeah.
So, and then that was when I took over as interim chair. And then, as we're filming the podcast, Archie is 3 months old, 3.5 months.
Yeah, he'll be 4 months on the 17th.
Okay, so he's coming up on 4 months old, and you just went back to work, right?
Yep, this past week I went back.
Yeah. How's that been?
It's rough. I actually took him to work with me on Wednesday.
Did you? Oh, that's cool that you could.
Well, thank God I work for a state federation of a union.
Yeah.
But my husband works night shifts right now. And so during the day, he's supposed to sleep normally. But now Archie's awake more during the day and sleeps at night. And so he's not getting as much sleep. And when I was getting ready to leave for work on Wednesday morning, I noticed how my husband was barely functioning.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to take the baby with me because I don't trust that this is going to work out well.
Yeah, when somebody's sleep deprived, it's hard to also take over, baby.
I mean, I was sleep deprived for the last almost 4 months, but I also wasn't having to get up and go to work every day. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, and he has to be able to sleep because he works 10-hour shifts every night. And so it was interesting, to say the least. I spent half my work day thinking about my son, texting my husband.
Having been through it, going back to work from maternity leave is pretty horhorrible.
I did talk them into let me be home on Fridays though.
Oh,
so I get to work.
Well, they can work from home, mama.
Because we talked about that. I mean, that's also that your workplace can be accommodating like that, because not all places will be.
But you also have a pretty unique workplace about workers' rights. So what is that about?
So I work for the Tennessee AFL-CIO. My position there, I've taken over the communications, so you know that very well. And essentially right now, since we're not in session, my job is to really kind of focus on the newsletter, getting information out about the special election, letting the affiliates know, all the locals know anything we have going on. But as soon as session's back, they also want me to start kind of dabbling in lobbying. So I'm going to be training to be a lobbyist maybe next year, a little bit.
Back to the Capitol.
Yeah, back to the Capitol. So I'll be up there, not in the way that I want it to be, but, honestly, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. I told my campaign manager, Megan, 1,000,001 times, I was like, if I don't win this race, I was not meant to be a state rep.
Right.
Like, I do feel like my path is in politics because I'm so passionate about it. But whether that be organizer, activist, lobbyist, I don't know yet.
It's not part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I can't not be involved in politics.
Yeah.
That's why I had to make a follow-up video about my step down video, because people were like, take all the time you need. We'll be here when you get back. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. It's just
You're still going to be here. I'm just not
an pause
here.
direct. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm still going to be online as much as I can be, and out as much as I can.
Yeah.
So
we can do some TikTok collabs or something.
Yeah. But as far as AFL, it's about workers' rights, making sure that people aren't treated badly in the workplace. They're being paid fairly. They get the sick time they need, the family time they need. And so we support our local union. We got unions up here, the CWA. So it's a big fight for workers, and we need that in Tennessee desperately.
It's a worthwhile cause.
Speaking of a big fight, your successor as chair is being elected tomorrow. Those of you watching will get to vote in theory, if you're on the EC. So you've done this job for 5-6 months now. What is your advice to your successor?
Okay, so I'm going to say this. I only did this job for a month. Rebecca has done this job for 5 or 6 months now. I don't want to take any credit for the things that you've done, because you did incredible, and thank you for doing it, both of you.
Yeah, great job, Rebecca.
Well, and Chaz, because
Chaz.
neither of us could have functioned without you.
No.
But seriously, thank you for letting me be a new mom. My advice to whoever's stepping up is, one, know your party, know the people in your party, because you're going to have people that have different opinions, and you don't want a lot of infighting going on. So make sure you know the people in your party, make sure you can guide in the right direction. 2, be very communicative. Like, communication's huge with me. If you're not open to talking to people, this isn't the position for you. But please be open to talking to people. Please be open to hearing other people's point of views. 3, it's a lot of work. Montgomery County, we're like one of the top watched political parties up here, because we're that great. Chaz, I'm going to give him all that credit. Yeah.
No, we share it.
Well, listen, when you brought this party up, I didn't know what it was beforehand, but I know a lot of people have said you've turned it around a lot. So listen, don't have imposter syndrome. Take it. But it's going to be a lot of work. Montgomery County in itself, Ronnie, he holds onto his seat by a thread of a needle every year, or every election year. We're trying desperately to flip 75. I mean, it's doable. And then we have Aaron Mayberry's district, which is going to be a little harder, but not impossible. But we have 40 seats across,
give or take.
give or take, that we're going to need to fill. So start now, start reaching out to people now, talk to them about the importance of running for office, what it means. You don't have to be a political expert to sit on the school board chair. You just have to care about kids in our public schools. And I guess the last piece of advice is take everybody else's piece of advice with a grain of salt. Everybody has an opinion on how you should run your party. Unless they have run a party themselves, just thank you so much for your advice.
Yeah.
There's a lot. That's what we were talking about before. Is just the sheer amount of advice about how the Democratic Party should operate.
Yeah.
And all the things we have to do. I made an org chart that y'all have seen.
I've seen it.
It's gigantic spaghetti.
Yeah.
It's so many layers, and I'm like,
stressed me out.
but we do all those things. It's like all these different teams and all their different tasks. It's a big machine. Luckily, and it's still people power. This is a volunteer driven thing.
Yeah.
So it takes everybody doing their little part. And so everyone gets to have advice, but the people who do the work are the ones that are going to have to actually make it happen.
Yep.
Right.
That is how it is.
Absolutely. And we have like a good solid, what, like 10 to 15 people
Yeah.
that really are just like our go-tos. They're always there. So count on those people as much as you can, but also try to get more people in, because those 10 to 15, they're going to get burnt out.
Yes.
Yeah. So just make sure you delegate the work evenly, and don't try to take everything on yourself like I did. You have a great officer team. You have a great EC. Use them. Utilize them as much as you can.
That's true. We talked a little bit, or you had mentioned the race in 2024. As we all know, it didn't turn out how we would have liked. But can you tell us a little bit what it was like getting pregnant during the race and navigating pregnancy in Tennessee, especially after RT's rainbow baby?
Yeah, so I kept my pregnancy a secret up until
seriously.
election night.
I worked on the campaign with Allie, and I didn't know.
Chaz had no idea, and
It was hidden from me, I think, specifically.
it was because of your role.
I was like, oh, it's just, you know.
Your job. Yeah. Chaz's job made us not tell. If you didn't have that job, we would have told you, I think. But
Because I just wanted you to knock doors. I was like, you got to knock more doors. And I was like, couldn't figure out why she wasn't knocking more
like,
doors.
she's knocking. But yeah, no, I was like deathly ill the first like 5 to 6 weeks. It was rough. The first trimester was rough.
Yeah, and you like kept getting sick and like puking, and me being a dumb man was
You
like,
didn't put the
why is this woman puking so much?
summer flu in Tennessee in the spring.
She has it like every week.
Yeah.
Was it fall?
It was, so I found out I was pregnant in August.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like this is about the year that I found out I'm at the year mark.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, you could pass it off as like
So
allergy.
yeah, it was right after the primary I found out I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so yeah, I didn't knock doors for like 3 weeks, and we were just like, we can't get volunteers, which we couldn't. But also, you know, I was sick. Anyways, it was rough. Keeping the secret from one was hard. We did that because women are already looked at in such a negative light when it comes to politics, especially running for office. They're like, oh, how are you gonna be a mom and, you know, do this? I'm like, well, how is he a dad and does it?
Boys do it.
Right. Boys can do it. Why can't we? But we didn't want, my campaign manager and I, we didn't want people to look at me differently because I was pregnant. We didn't want them to have the notion of, oh, well, she's going to give birth like in the middle of session. How is she going to represent us if she's at home on maternity leave, kind of thing?
True.
And so we didn't want that to deter anybody. And so we kept it a secret. It was hard. I specifically, it was hard for me because I wanted to tell everybody. And Adelie herself, we didn't tell her for a while either because she's a little
She
flabber.
managed to keep a secret too. Yeah, it's impressive.
She didn't know it was a boy until we were walking downstairs to go give my concession speech.
Oh wow.
Yeah. She didn't know.
Oh.
And so...
And that's how you told us.
That's when we found.
That's when I told you guys. At the very end of my speech, I made it look like it was a birthday present for Brian.
Yeah.
So it was also his birthday.
It was.
Yeah.
So you were like, okay, tonight's been a huge disaster, but we do have some good news.
What was running through your head? Because I mean, you have this big announcement to give that's very personal to you, and would, you know, uplift the room. But like, you probably also have an idea that Kamala's about to lose. I think we were just starting to think that Kamala might not win.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So when I was sitting up in that hotel room, I didn't have any idea of what was going on other than what was shown on the TV in there. And it was as soon as I walked in, like immediately.
How are they doing this so fast?
I was like, the polls just closed and they already called it. And so I was like, well, we're already going downhill. And so I was checking, I was refreshing as much as I could on whatever government app I was on. And I saw each one start to slowly come out, like Karen's, Garfield's, Ronnie's I was watching because I was like desperately wanting him to keep his seat, but I was refreshing mine and I was like, oh, I'm really close. You know, I'm getting really close to him. I'm closing in. And then Megan and Chaz walked in and I could just see it on their face.
Yeah.
And they were like, I was like, well, you guys don't think you're coming with good news. And it was just,
It's not.
yeah. And I was like, but there's still this. And Megan was like, with the precincts that are left, you just, even if you got every vote, you know, you wouldn't close the gap. And, you know, I started this race not having any experience in politics.
Yeah.
I started this race because I was affected by a policy by our government that nearly cost me my life. And I didn't want anyone else to have to go through that. And so that's why I ran, among other reasons. But for me, I stepped into this knowing I probably wasn't going to win. I was the underdog. Nobody knew who I was. I mean, I built the name recognition throughout, but I'm going against a Republican incumbent in a red state as a newcomer.
Yeah.
People didn't know me for anything other than, oh, she's on TikTok. Oh, she had an abortion. Is that all she has to offer? And so I told Megan a million times leading up to the election night, I was like, I'm going to be okay either way.
Yeah.
Like, win or lose, I got my story out there and I'm still going to fight. Like, it's not over. Election night wasn't it.
No. So mission accomplished on getting the message out.
Yeah.
And still, it's still ongoing.
Yeah.
But
I didn't think Kamala was going to lose. I'll say that.
No, I know I didn't.
Did you, at the time you were conceding, did you think Kamala was going to lose, or had you not looked at that race yet?
So to be honest, because I asked you on the hallway, I was like, am I the first one to give a concession speech? And you were like, no, Karen and Garfield have already gone. And I was like, okay, so we've all lost. I expected that. Like, as much as I wanted us to win, I, like, in my heart of hearts, I was like, I don't know if Montgomery County is going to flip blue this year. I expected it to happen. But to hear Kamala, first off, to hear them call the presidential election same night.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was like 2 a.m.
Yeah. I was like, when in the world is that ever happened, for one?
Were you up, or were you at home?
I broke up at 3 a.m. There's this, or is it between 3 and 4 a.m.? There's this like 4 a.m. club going on TikTok of all the women. There was like a spiritual feminine awakening or something that happened.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. If you look it up,
It's weird.
if you like hashtag 4 a.m. club, there are like, I don't want to say millions, but thousands of people, men and women, that woke up between, depending on your time zone,
I think.
yeah, between like 3 to 4 to 5 a.m. the next morning of election day. And we all just had this like eerie feeling of like something's not right. I grabbed my phone. I fell asleep with it on the results, and it was still like barely anything. And so I refreshed it and I watched it in real time. Trump take the lead.
Wow.
And he won. And I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. There's no way. And I just sat there with it for like an hour, like not knowing what to do. I was like, I screenshot it. I started texting my friends. I like texted Megan, and everybody's asleep. And I'm like, clearly I'm dreaming, because that's not possible. The energy that was around her campaign,
I know.
like, just, it still doesn't make sense to me to this day. And I don't want to be one of those conspiracy theorists, but I don't know. Personally, I think something may have happened, but I don't know.
It's weird.
I'm just
one
waiting
day,
for it to come out.
hopefully someday we'll know.
Because if he won by such a landslide, why does he need 5 congressional seats in Texas? That's all I'm gonna say.
It's great.
Well, the thing is, he didn't win by a landslide. He just barely won.
Well, it's
Barely.
barely 0.something%. That's not a landslide.
Yeah, I do think something did happen, and like Democrats, we lost the election. Like, we were really bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like we had energy, and folks really didn't want Trump, but we did not make the case we needed to for folks to not choose him again. And there was just a lot of pressure, the same pressure hitting us today, which is the economy's bad. The economy's are definitely worse. I think we can feel it being worse.
Yeah.
All the businesses I know that in love are now closing or thinking about closing. And so I think American people were picking up on that then, and we were in charge, so it was on us to blame.
But surely they didn't look at Trump's first term and think that was a great idea again.
I think the electorate looks at what's in front of them.
Yeah, they're not getting the same media that we're getting. And
Yeah,
the messaging to them is entirely like
The Democrats dropped the ball in messaging, 100%. Yeah. Like, I will fault them for that. They did. They left working people behind.
Yeah.
I guess because I was involved in politics, I knew the kind of harm that Trump was going to cause.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like, how could you not see that? But I mean,
not, yeah.
for people that aren't involved,
I think it's a trust factor.
it is.
They I think they know that Trump is problematic, but they didn't trust what we put forward.
With the messaging.
Yeah.
There wasn't faith that Democrats could turn it around.
Yeah.
And I guess they thought that they could trust him. He's been president before. Things didn't, on a total that that's.
There was a little amnesia there where they thought that it's almost like they thought Joe Biden was president during the entire pandemic.
Yes.
And instead of like Trump being president during most of it.
Maybe because when he is president, it feels like a lot longer than what it actually is. So
it's only been 8 months.
I don't know if
Oh
that's
my God.
years.
some of it was because he was president during the pandemic.
I'm not going to have any hair left at this point.
Yeah, I'm losing hair too, actually. Pretty sure it's postpartum hair loss, but I think it also has to do with stress.
Okay. So talking of postpartum, can you tell us a little bit about what it's been like as a postpartum for you this time? Is it different from how it was with your first pregnancy?
You know, postpartum with Allie was hard. I was a single mom for the first 3 years of her life.
Yeah.
I went back to work when she was 2 weeks old. I didn't get a maternity leave.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. I was working for Amazon at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't work for Amazon.
Well, and because, it's one of those places that you have to be there for a year before you get
We
maternity
get it.
Oh my God.
Places are actually like that. It's not just
That's insane.
corporate, yeah.
And so I started working there February because I quit my job at B-Dubs when I was pregnant with Adelie on Super Bowl Sunday because I wasn't making any money. And I was like, I'm about to have a baby. I need money.
Yeah.
And so I started working there in February of 2017 and she came out in June. So, I didn't have that year. And so I took 2 weeks off to heal, which wasn't enough, but, I had to do what I had to do. I needed money for formula and all this other stuff. And I didn't really get time to be with her.
Yeah.
Like immediately she was at a daycare. Immediately I was still a college student. I picked up 2 extra jobs. So I was working 3 jobs on top of going to school. And so I never really had the time to like be depressed.
To experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still was like, I was just kind of going through the motions of life. I was on co-pilot. Like I was on just running on whatever fumes I had.
Yeah.
With Archie, I was thankfully able to get, I think about 4 months, if not 4 months of a maternity leave, which is like unheard of in this country. And with him it's different because he is a rainbow baby.
Yeah.
And so I sit and I think
Can we
about...
explain that for a second? Both used it. I've never heard it before.
So rainbow babies are the pregnancies that you have after you lose one.
Wow.
Yeah. So usually it's kind of the one preceding it, but some people have multiple miscarriages. And so if they have one baby after like 5 miscarriages, it's just, that's your rainbow baby. Rainbow baby. That's who was sent down from your other ones. And so Archie, with him being the rainbow baby, I think I have a lot of like FOMO, or not FOMO, of just that missing out on like, I didn't get to witness Miley doing this. I didn't get to have, pictures with Miley. I didn't get to dress Miley. And so I have like these moments where I'm like, I never got to see Miley smile. I never got to see Miley like figure out that she has hands for the first time, and those kinds of things hurt and they suck. But I'm okay. I think the hardest part of the postpartum is the fact that I'm in postpartum while going through a second Trump administration. So like I'm watching the country fall apart. I desperately wish I could like leave and just go somewhere where I don't have to worry about my daughter being, political pawn for her body. And so that my kids have great, education and all this other stuff. But I'm like, I can't leave because then who's going to fight,
Right.
And so like part of me is like, when it comes down to it, if it's my family that I have to save, I'm going to save my family. But I don't want it to get to that point. And so I have like a bunch of irrational fears. A lot of them are probably just paranoia. But
I know there's some of the irrational fears are starting to feel rational.
Yeah.
Right, because of Trump or because of rainbow baby situation?
Well, a little bit of both. I mean, my thing is like, at what point are we like actually gonna like? He could call for martial law at any moment, and we're in a military town, so I feel like we'd be one of the first ones with a curfew. Like they can send out soldiers
something's happening
in a minute.
DC, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know anything about DC, or I haven't heard anything. But
yeah, you're right. He could call for martial law. He does a lot of things where he will make decisions on the spur of the moment. Yeah, really not thought out, and it affects people like in a really big way.
Well, and I mean, and you look at like they're hiring more ICE agents, and they're offering like $50,000 sign-on bonus, and they're going to pay off your student loans. But I thought they were pissed about Biden paying off student loans, but now it's okay if Trump does it because And I'm like, and then I saw something that they like cut the age gap or the age limit to be an ICE agent. So like just open to whoever wants to tear apart families and deport citizens, you know? And there's this loyalist program that he has going on. And he's made the White House into this tacky, like golden paradise for himself. And so it's just like, nobody's stopping him.
No. Nobody
is, and that may be my soapbox, but I just, it stresses me out because I see every single day. It's that shock and awe. It's non-stop. They want to talk about Joe Biden being sleepy. Well, at least we got sleep at night. Like I wake up at 2 a.m. to feed Archie and there's 10 more breaking news stories from 10 p.m. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just never ends.
How do you take breaks and protect your peace?
So lately, like I would say since I've had Archie, I haven't been posting as much. And since he's got a little bit older, I'm kind of getting back into it. But specifically on the weekends, I don't really post as much. If you notice, like during the week, like weekdays, I'll post like back-to-back posts and stuff. But on the weekends, maybe 1 or 2, max 3 a day if I even get on. So I'm trying to prioritize family time on the weekends and not be online as much. But breaks during the day, it's hard. I'm pretty sure I have an addiction to social media.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely have an addiction to social media.
Social media was a really big part of your campaign, right?
Yes. So, well, on social media, without TikTok, you never would have met me.
Yeah.
Never would have met you.
Yeah.
I never would have knew this place existed. I never would have ran for office. Like, if it wasn't for TikTok, my story wouldn't have gone out there.
No.
And so social media, I've always credited TikTok to being the reason I got to where I was with the campaign. And it's because of complete strangers on TikTok that I was able to get to New York. So like, I'm grateful for TikTok. And being a comms major and comms is my job, I have to be online.
I know, it's a double-edged sword.
It's kind of like, people are like, you need to take a break. I'm like, well, they pay me to literally be online.
Yeah, it's like where is the line between, okay, I'm scrolling because this is my job and I need to be informed.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I need to not be scrolling because it's affecting my mental health.
Yeah. I doom scroll. I need to quit that. And that's really hard to do. I will say, throughout the campaign, Megan, she did help me transition out of responding to comments.
That was a whole thing.
Ooh, yeah. Because before I decided to run for office, I would respond to like almost every single person that pissed me off. And I was snappy with
that. Was your favorite thing?
Well, I mean,
it stressed me out.
In some ways, it's satisfying, right?
It is,
but
to call out
it's
BS.
It's a lot of wasted energy, though.
Yeah.
But it made me feel better.
Yeah.
In the short term, I'm sure it did. In the long term, did it make you feel better? Engaging in the negativity over time?
Probably not.
Right.
Like when I look back at those videos, I'm like, God, I was so angry, and I still am. But now I can't.
And I'm still mad.
It's a different kind of anger.
I have levels, okay? There's layers to me. But now
it's like the onion and Shrek.
Yes. But now instead of channeling my anger to ignorant comments, I just channel it more towards like activism and organizing and stuff. Which again, haven't done as much so lately because of the baby. And I will admit I went down a pretty bad space after the election.
Pod dog appearance.
He's the cutest dog.
This is Ozzy. He always makes a pod appearance.
But I mean, Chaz saw my down spiral after the election. I was like anti everything.
It was like the next day. I was like, I had just woken up, and you're like, we've lost and we're never winning again. Yeah. I was like, good morning,
everybody. Just give up.
It wasn't just you though. Like.
Well, I was like, could you delete your comments from the House Democratic Caucus Chair's Facebook post that we're going to lose and never win again?
I kind of went after John Ray a little bit.
Right.
Because he was so optimistic. I was like, why? Why are you... We just lost everything. And I think I was mad because I think I got on John Ray on that because I felt like he ignored everything we just lost.
That we just did, yeah.
Like, it was... Yes, we still need to move forward. I get that. But
like... He didn't lose, though.
Right, he didn't lose. Right, so it's like, it's good for him to be optimistic. Like, let's keep going. Like, dude, I just poured my life into 13 months of a campaign.
Yeah.
Like, let us be depressed for a day.
Had he reached out to you since you lost? Like, had he called you or checked in?
No. I mean, I saw him. I've seen him a couple times
Yeah.
at the Capitol because of my job,
Yeah.
but there was never any talk about my campaign.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably the only one that hasn't asked me if I was going to rerun. Like all the other lawmakers, the Democrat ones anyway, they're always like, I didn't win my first race or this, and this. Even Justin Jones was like,
true, right?
are you going to go again? I was like, this is when I was still pregnant. I was like, man, I don't know. I got to have this baby first, see where my life is.
Priority number one.
Yeah. And so, yeah, no, I was just mad because he didn't acknowledge that we did lose and that we failed somewhere. Not we as in like the candidates, just the party as a whole failed somewhere because the voters, they didn't come out.
No.
And if I remember correctly, Davidson County even had a lower turnout. Maybe it was just early voting. They had a lower turnout. But I remember seeing something.
We're always the lowest. We're always the lowest
know,
turnout
here,
in the lowest state in the country.
But the Davidson County voters, it was just like they weren't showing up. The Democrats weren't. And I was like, what? That's the whole of our pie there.
The base, yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah.
Well.
If Davidson County's not showing up, they're surely not going to get the rural Democrats to come out.
Well, Davidson County's turnout was lower, but their percentages went up. So, like, they had some seats that could have been 3 or 4 points closer, but they won by like 10, 12 points. Like, Bo Mitchell and Shondell. So, like, yeah, their turnout was down, but their overall Democratic performance was much better.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's maybe what I saw. I just saw like numbers of voters not coming out. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, so my downward spiral after the election was, I think it lasted a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But then I got back.
Yeah.
I think I went back. I went to the Women's March in Nashville on January 11th, I think it was. And I spoke down there.
Yeah.
Or
That was
the
this
People's
year.
March, the People's March.
Yeah, I can't believe that was this year.
Yeah, that was,
It does
was
feel
just
like a
8 months ago. 7 months ago. Oh my God.
Can we talk a little bit about what it was like to actually be a candidate? Like, what does that involve? What did your day look like when you were running?
Oh, it depended on the time frame of the campaigns.
So, like let's say September, when the election's in November, what do you think he would be doing?
Oh God. So I was either door knocking or I was on the phone or I was writing postcards or I was at an event or I was doing an interview. Like it was.
Or a documentary crew will be following you around.
Yeah.
I had 3 documentary crews following me around last year. And it was funny because at first when they were following me, it made me feel really uneasy because I was like, they wanted to follow me like on the campaign trail. Like they wanted to get that footage. And it, for me, felt inauthentic to go and knock on someone's door, tell them about myself and try and earn their vote when there's a camera staring at them.
Yeah.
Also, not every voter is going to feel good about a candidate being like, hey, do you want to be filmed?
Yeah, that too. And so we actually had to ask a few of them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, they want to get some footage of me actually with a voter, a real life voter. And so some of the producers or the staff or whoever would go up ahead to a couple houses that we told them we were going to knock, and they would knock on the door and be like, hey, there's a candidate that's about to come to your house. We're filming this, documentary. Would you be okay being on camera? And so that helped alleviate, because I told them, I was like, I don't feel comfortable asking people to be on camera. Not a bit, because I'm not there for that. And so they took the initiative to ask ahead of time.
Yeah.
And we did get a few that were totally on board with it. Yeah. But it got to a point that I told them, especially once we got closer to the election, I told them, I was like, you guys can't come with me anymore. Like, this is like knees deep in mud.
It's real.
Yeah. And I have to the problem is I have to get mic'd up. They were like, oh, can you do that shot again? I'm like, no. I have like an hour left before I have to get home so my husband can go to work. I need to hit as many doors as I can.
Yeah.
And so it's like, no, I can't redo that walk 5 times so you get the right shot.
No.
And so I've ended up telling them, like, well, you guys can't follow me anymore with that. Like, if you want to follow me, keep up, because I'm not starting.
Yeah.
I told them that.
Yeah.
It's like, keep up, because once I'm moving.
Wear comfy shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want you to get in trouble with any NDAs, but do you know if any are going to be released soon?
So did I sign NDAs? I don't think I did.
I don't know.
So I will say, one of them is with first partner, Jen Newsom out in California. She had a misrepresentation documentary some odd years ago, and this is kind of like Misrepresentation 2.0. I don't know if that's what she's calling it per se.
Oh.
But she did when Gavin came through Nashville. What was that? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? It felt like 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But he came through recently. I talked to Jen, and she actually said that they're working on wrapping it up. She was like, "It looks great. Can't wait for you to see it." So didn't get a deadline on that just yet.
But maybe soon.
But yes, soon. Now the main one that Chaz cameos in.
Yeah, I don't know if you call it a cameo. I had to sit for an extra like 2 or 3 hours.
Okay, listen, I love your pizza. No, he had like this whole segment for Chaz. So that's with Carrie Lee. And she was the main one. She was the first one. She sent somebody to come film my launch party in November 23. Like, she's been there from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Hers, she actually just texted me, well, not when this airs, but yesterday, that they should be done right after Labor Day weekend.
Okay, so by the time this airs, we might in fact be able to see.
I hope so.
And so we will get... So Amanda Seyfried, I don't know if you know who that is. Yeah. If you've ever watched Mean Girls, she is part of it, and she actually agreed to sign on as an executive producer. Cool. And so Carrie Lee has to send the film to her for approval. So she's going to watch it, and then she's going to send it to me after Amanda approves it, just so I can see if there's any edits that I suggest. And then after that, they're pitching it to networks, and Amanda was like, "I have people at Netflix I'm gonna call." So we're hoping our Amanda Seyfried tie will get us on Netflix. If not, we're shooting for like maybe Hulu, Paramount.
Other than watching these documentaries, what advice do you have for candidates running this cycle?
Be yourself. Oh my God, be yourself. Same advice I have for whoever's gonna take over chair. You're gonna get all the advice. You're gonna get all the advice. From everybody that's never ran for office before. Take it, say thank you for your advice, but focus on your campaign, your staff. If you get a staff, get like a good solid 5 people that you trust. Yes. Because without my team, I would have crashed and burned before the primary, and I wasn't even in a contested primary. So be yourself. Know what your goal is. Don't change it. Because a lot of times we see politicians kind of flip-flop because they start getting negativity about maybe a certain topic that they spoke on. Don't flip-flop. If you know in your heart of hearts that's where you stand and that's what you want to see changed, go for it. Keep your messaging consistent because that's going to be very important. I see.
And is there anything specific for District 75, Montgomery County?
You have a really good opportunity to turn this county, this district, blue. My race, I got just over 45% of the vote. Okay, so we have paved out, I would say, a pretty solid path for the next candidate to realize that there are people in this district that want change. We just got to get a few more that want that change as well to the ballot box. There was a lot of Trump Allie voters in my district.
Yeah, that's surprising. But yeah.
Weirdly enough, I was like, that is the most condescending thing I've ever seen in my life because he's everything I'm not and vice versa.
Yeah.
But I was able to talk to swing voters and some Republicans and made them realize I'm not Democrat, I'm Allie. I am a candidate who wants these things for our community, the same things that you want. Don't look at me as a party. And that really got them to open their eyes to voting for a Democrat.
Yeah.
But they were like, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. I'm like, I'm not telling you who to vote for president.
No.
That's your choice.
That's great that people would be open like that.
Yeah, and I feel like it made them feel more seen as a voter and as a person because for so long, all of us, we're just
nobody ever knocked on their door.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and I had a lot of people tell me the fact that I knocked on their door, they're voting for me.
Okay. Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Well, we are running short of time, but we would like to invite you to do our segment that we call our soapbox moment. So what this is we're going to give you a little bit of time, and we're running short, so maybe 2 or 3 minutes to talk about something that is really getting on your nerves right now.
Yeah, what's pissing you off?
Okay, what's pissing me off? There's a lot of things that are pissing me off.
Yeah, I got it down to one.
Yeah, we got the Tesla tunnels. We got Marsha Blackburn running for governor. We got Trump in the White House. We got Vance on his 7th vacation since he took office. We got ICE agents deporting and, arresting American citizens. What's pissing me off? 101st is always backed up. There's just traffic just drives me nuts. I would say the biggest thing is people not paying attention to what's actually happening. The people that just sit and watch Fox News and don't get any other information outside of Fox News, they drive me insane. I was talking to my husband the other day. One of his friends, his aunt blocked me on Facebook because she made this long post just going after Democrats for all these things that they did. And what I did is I took her post and I responded to each one individually and I fact checked her. And I gave my sources as well as to like, this is where it says that's wrong. It was actually a Republican that did that. And she got pissed and she blocked me. And it's that kind of thing that's like, I can understand getting upset when someone fact checks you, but you are blatantly spreading false information and I corrected you on it and you got mad about it.
Yeah.
This is why we're in this situation, because there's so much misinformation that goes out there and people are just reposting it without fact checking it. And so I think the thing that pisses me off the most is just the lack of accountability on people, especially in our government. And just the fact that Trump's our president. I think that's just solid.
I mean, that's a whole thing. All right. Well, thanks.
And Caroline Levitt, she pisses me off.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
The press secretary.
Oh, yeah. You're more online than I am. I don't watch any.
Caroline.
I won't do it. I can't do it.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
For people watching, if you have any questions about anything that we've talked about, you can email us at officers@mctndp.org and we'll put it on the screen.
And normally we do the contact information for our guest, but Allie's resigning. So don't. Leave her alone.
You can follow her at TikTok.
I'll be online.
Follow
Yeah.
her on TikTok.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm more so active on Instagram, so I still use my campaign Instagram, Allie4TN.
Yeah.
The number 4. So you can follow me there. I'm trying to get back into TikTok. I took a break from it for a while, but you can online. Yeah, I'm there.
Right. And we're actually having our monthly meeting tomorrow.
Tomorrow night,
Where we will be
September 11th.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah, so we'll be having our vote on who is going to be our new chair.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thanks again, Allie, for your service. Yeah. As a candidate, as a chair.
Like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'll just be in a different capacity. You guys can't get rid of me.
You're stuck.
I'm like a leech. Yeah.
A
I'm like a
disease.
flea. Can't
Friends
get
for
rid of me.
life.
Make it itch.
All right, and as always, make sure to like and follow us and come to one of our meetings, like we said. All of our information about our upcoming meetings is on our website, which is mctndp.org. And thanks for being here.
Come on down. Let's get to work.
Go vote in the special election.
Yes, definitely do that.